You don't conquer the mind, you don't defeat distraction. You don't purify yourself into something higher. You simply stop feeding certain movements, and without fuel, they exhaust themselves. Thought settles, not because it's ordered to, but because it no longer has a reason to keep running. In that settling, something watches. And that watcher doesn't feel like a personality. It doesn't argue. It doesn't compare. It doesn't even care if you understand it. It's just there, unchanged by whatever passes through it. Sometimes I wonder if liberation, as spoken of here, is misunderstood entirely, not as an escape from life, but as an intimacy with it that doesn't require ownership. You still think, you still feel, you still act, but something has stepped slightly aside, like sitting by a river rather than being dragged by it. From there, even discipline stops feeling like discipline. It becomes alignment and natural gravity, pulling attention back towards stillness again and again, without force, without drama. What feels quietly radical is that Patanjali doesn't argue metaphysics first. He doesn't demand agreement about God, or cosmos, or ultimate reality. He begins with suffering, with restlessness, with the obvious fact that the mind doesn't stay where you put it. And then he observes, methodically, almost clinically, as if saying, forget belief for a moment. Let's just look, let's test. Let's see what happens when attention is trained not to wander blindly. Truth, here, isn't revealed through faith. It's inferred through experience. And yet, the deeper this observation goes, the more something else begins to shimmer beneath it. Because once attention steadies, questions arise on their own, not emotional ones, not existential panic, but quiet inquiries. What is knowing? What is proof? How do I know what I know? How much of what I believe is direct perception? And how much is assumption layered on assumption? It's almost as if discipline clears the ground, not for transcendence, but for discernment, for the capacity to see clearly without distortion. I notice that when the mind becomes less reactive, it becomes more honest, less eager to jump, more willing to pause. And in that pause, something ancient wakes up, the instinct to question properly, not to argue, not to dominate, but to understand the structure of knowing itself. If discipline was the quieting of the lake, then perhaps what follows is learning how to see clearly into its depth, not spiritually, not symbolically, but precisely. I might be wrong, but it feels like once the mind learns to be still, it starts asking better questions. And those questions don't feel mystical anymore. They feel inevitable.